So after got to be at least a week off from riding due to the beast from the east, been taking the car in the mornings. Didn't want to trust the roads, although they were very dry, but the weather report just kept on saying it was going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, and it didn't really. So I probably could have chanced the bike. Never truly got to the stage of being really icy, really slippery. And the council have been fairly good at putting the salt out, especially on the main routes. So it's all kept rolling. And what usually happens when I take the car to work is the traffic's a nightmare. But it seemed like a lot of people were just decided they weren't going to venture out. There was hardly any traffic on the road at all, going to or coming home from work, which I wouldn't say made it a pleasure. It's not a fun way of travelling anymore in a car, but it was nice not having to wait in queues of traffic. So the whole experience wasn't as bad as it has been previously. So yeah, Beast from the East done us for a week and did my shed extension, which it's not massive. It's an additional triangle on the original square shed, or rectangle after the last extension, and that's it. That's me maxed out on what I can steal off the garden. That's as much as the decking I can take, and the tree that's in front of the shed, to be able to extend it further down, has got to stay apparently. So yeah, but it did give me, as I say, an additional triangle of space, 5 foot out from the shed. I've put a double door access into it, so I should quite easily be able to get the v-strom in there now, because it was about a foot short to get the v-strom in. I could have probably got it in at some weird angle, but it would have been a nightmare, and I'd have probably had to take the bar ends off, which ain't no fun. You don't want to be doing that. So I've put a double door on it now, so I haven't tried it yet, but the v-strom should slide in there nicely. Slide in there. Yeah, so I've done that. I did spend a couple of evenings, not long in the shed, because it's been bloody freezing. It really has been cold. So I've spent a couple of evenings, the odd hour here and there, messing about, trying to get things organised. And I spent a few hours yesterday, which was Saturday. This is obviously a Sunday because I'm out on the bike. Yeah, so I spent a few hours yesterday. I had a few bits. I had to get a new fridge. My fridge decided it was going to be a freezer and was freezing everything, as freezers do. So I had to get a new one of them, and I put in a plinth heater because my kitchen's so bloody cold. Put in a plinth heater, which is a heater that fits in your plinth underneath your cupboards, which does its job. Definitely takes the chill off the kitchen. What is it, 2000 kilowatt thing. So yeah, there's a bit of temperature there, a bit of heat. So that was major of yesterday. And then, as I say, because I was using the car, I had to give the missus a lift to work, and then go and pick up all the bits I needed, fit them, and then go and pick her up from work. So that sort of lost me a couple of hours messing about, and so I got those chores done, and then had a couple of hours in the shed sorting some other bits out, finishing off getting the shelves up. So the new extension has supplied me with quite a bit of extra storage space, which is good, and yeah, it does make it more flexible for moving around the bike. I mean, I've had, wrongly, I did have the 750 in there all the time I was doing the work on the shed, and it was filthy when it went in, and that coupled with all the sawdust all over it, it wasn't a very happy bike. I am a disgusting person for doing it, but that's what I'm like. Sorry and all that. So yeah, and again today, which was meant to be fairly decent this morning and then turn into crap this afternoon, it's turned out to be a all-day showers. Got the 750 out the shed and washed that down. that was desperate for it, proper desperate for it. And once I washed it, I thought I'll leave it out on the decking to dry, because I haven't got a bike dryer. And it started raining again, so it's had to dry off in the shed. So I've done some more in the shed, sorted out some of the tools, got my workbench cleared off, so I'm pretty much ready to destroy the GX 1000, sorry, the GSXR 1000. Get that in there, up on the ABBA stand, and start stripping it down. Before I start that, I think I'll have to check all the bikes, because I think they're coming up for servicing. So, but yeah, the shed's bigger is the main crux of that. I was just finishing off doing some stuff and looked outside and it wasn't raining. I thought, you know what, I've had a gut full of being inside, so I came out on my v-strom, obviously, just have a play, have a bit of a mess about. As I say, it's been at least a week with no biking whatsoever, and it has been absolutely freezing. So any moment's a good moment, and now I think it's around the 7 degrees, something like that. Oh, my bike's saying 8 degrees, so about 8 degrees outside, but it feels really warm. Where we've had it so cold for so long, it does feel really fucking warm. There you go, you might not be able to see it, but that white over there is snow. As most of you know that are living in the UK, you've all had to deal with it. I'm not alone in my plight. So that's the update. The shed is pretty much finished. There's a few bits I've got to decide where I want them to go. I think now that's given me the room to have a polisher, a bench grinder slash polisher in the shed, which will assist with the 1000. There's a church, there's a Range Rover, there's a Mercedes ML. I have to be a bit more careful up there this time, because obviously this is the road that at the end of it I fell over. Misjudged it completely. Car took me by surprise, just went, "Oh, car!" and killed me, made me fall over. You can't see that on the camera, but this is loads of different angles all at once. I think I want to go down this way actually. Change my mind. And through here. Yeah, so that's the update. That's why I'm out on the bike today, which is Sunday afternoon. Got to get back to have all my hair shaved off because I can't do a thing with it in the mornings. Oh, it's everywhere and I hate that, so I'd rather just hack it all off. So yeah, been quite busy even though I ain't been out on the bikes. Stuff's been getting done. As I say, the 750 is drying off at the moment, and it should be dry enough to ACF 50 it. It doesn't really matter if there's bits of wet on it when you're going to ACF 50 it, because the ACF 50 drives the water out, drives the moisture out. So yeah, I think that'd be the job probably tonight before I start doing any more in the shed and cover it in shit again. Oh, back end slide. But it is rather shitty down here. Oh, it is nice to be out having a bit of a brap blast. The only thing I find with the old v-strom, compared to the 4-strokes, not the 4-strokes, compared to the inline 4s, that's more like it, the gearbox seems a bit more agricultural on this. Perhaps it is just my particular gearbox. Whoa. But yeah, it does. I think overall the stroke. There you go. There's some snow. There's some snow for you. Look, snow. Overall, I think the lever throw movement is more, and I'm so used to the other two, just a very short gear change like that, so used to that short shift, that this is a bit more as I say, a bit more agricultural, where, oh, this is shitty. Yeah, this is a bit more agricultural, where you got to take a big increment, a big movement. A big movement. That's a big purr. He's done a big purr. Not that sort of movement. There's a bigger lever movement, which I don't do enough. What are we braking for? Yeah, I don't do enough of a movement, so it means I get a lot of false neutrals. We'll just guess where you're going. Oh yeah, Brighton match on today. We bought 1,000 out. All the police will be at the match.